Hi, everybody. I'm Hugh O'Brien, and I've got a secret.
I've Got a Secret, brought to you tonight by Tony, creator of fine beauty products for the woman who prefers the natural look of beauty care at home. Live from New York, here is I've Got a Secret, starring Gary Moore.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Good evening, and welcome to I've Got a Secret on this dreadful, miserable, rainy evening in New York City. Although the weather outside is frightful, the panel inside is delightful, because to begin with, we have the dry wit of Bill Cullen, and our rainbow girl, Betsy Palmer, and the hot at the end of our rainbow, Henry Morgan, and finally the sunny disposition of Bess Myers. There we are. And I'm afraid, Henry, in my case, it's the case of the kettle calling the pot black. But
I don't mind being the pot. That's got the gold in it.
you know it. Now, may we have our first contestant, please? Will you come in, sir? Sit down now and tell that panel what your name is, please, and where you are from.
Richard Lawson from Culver's Lake, New Jersey.
This is Mr. Lawson, and he is from Culver Lake, New Jersey. Mr. Lawson, if you will whisper your secret to me, we'll show it at the same time to our audience at home. That is remarkable. Tell me more. Oh, boy. Now, panel, to help you with Mr. Lawson's secret, the clue concerns something he did, and the results are backstage to be seen before very long. So let's start the game with Bill Cullen, please.
Mr. Lawson, when you did this, did it get in the newspapers?
Yes, sir?
Were you alone in doing it?
Yes, sir.
Did it involve other people?
You did this by yourself, didn't you?
I did this by myself.
Is it a record or is it something you're proud to have done?
Yes, sir.
Did it require any special training on your part, sir?
No.
Well, I think we'd have to say it required certain acquired skills. For instance, I couldn't just go and do it, even if I knew how.
Was
you,
it
you,
the
have
fir-
to, you have to have a certain amount of skill. True?
Yes.
Was it the first of its kind, Mr. Lawson?
No.
The longest?
Yes.
You did something longer or for a greater distance? Was it long in a sense of time?
Yes, sir.
$20 down, $60 to go. That, however, is a byproduct of the secret. It was not a very fruitful path for you to follow. So let's go on to Betsy, please.
Did you do this in New Jersey, Mr. Lawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you do it around the area where you live?
Yes.
I don't know. Something's kind of coming to my head a little bit. Did
Maybe
it
it's
have to
migraine.
do with digging, with excavating of any
No,
sort?
ma'am.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd found some old dinosaur bones or something like that. It had
No, I
nothing-
didn't do that.
Did you do it with your hands more than the rest of your body?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah.
We've lost $40, and we have $40 to go, and we go to Henry.
Mr. Lawson, did you make something?
Yes, sir.
And Gary said that the results were backstage, so I figured...
The
Did you make
result is or the results are. You can make up your own mind when you see it.
Is it an R? I mean, R it is. Are there more than one?
No.
It's just an is.
Uno.
Now, is this mechanical?
Yes.
Does it do anything that needs doing? Or is it just...
I mean, is it functional?
Is it functional, yeah?
Is it a useful thing that you have built, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Does it have an electric motor in it?
No.
Does it have any kind of engine in it?
Yes.
Gasoline?
Yes.
Does this thing carry people?
Well, you got the, it carries a person.
A person.
Okay, then you built something that carries somebody somewhere.
Yes.
Hopefully. $60 down, $20 to go, and we go to bed.
That's not it.
I don't know.
Not completely. Does it have wheels?
Yes.
4 of them?
No.
2?
No.
You must have looked at the wrong thing, Carrie.
Yeah, I must have not looked at it as carefully as I thought I had. I thought it had two. It's got
One.
something different than two.
Oh,
What?
does it have, it does have wheels. It has one wheel.
No.
No wheels.
Yes, it has wheels.
It has more than four.
No.
Three.
Three.
It's a tricycle. Mr. Lawson, do you have to ride it? Do you get on it in order to make it go? Get
Not on it.
in it.
Yes.
All right.
Colonel Richard Lawson is a full-time machinist at the Wine Engineering Company in New Jersey, and he is a part-time flying enthusiast. Now, for years, he's been flying his own airplane, and finally his dream has come true the hard way. He built his own airplane, and when I say the hard way, I mean it. Just ask his wife. He built it in the living room of his house. Now, this aircraft is backstage, and we will see it in just a moment. But first, Mr. Lawson, how does one go about building an airplane in his living room?
Well, he starts out with a blueprint, makes the blueprint, makes the part, and he assembles it.
Well, what's the part that you built first?
I built the fuselage first, or the body of the airplane.
Fuselage. That's the big, long part of the airplane.
That's right.
What did you do with the fuselage while you worked on the rest of the plane?
Kept it in the living room.
Kept it right in the living room.
Right.
How long did the body of this plane stay in the living room?
About 7 years.
7 years. Mr. Lawson, would you present this box of candy to your wife? This is our annual award to the most understanding woman of the year.
Thank you.
What did you do about company in your living room? Entertaining friends and so forth. You got an airplane sitting in there.
If they didn't like my airplane, they didn't have to come.
For 7 years it sat there. Well, now, I assume that after 7 years, when you had completed all of the individual parts, the fuselage and the wings and the motor and all the rest, that you took them out and assembled the airplane outside.
No, I assembled in the living room.
Well, how'd you get it out of the house?
Well, then I disassembled it and took it to Sussex Airport and assembled it.
And that was your first flight.
Yes?
Before we see it, Henry, you had your hand up a moment ago. Was there something? Time has passed. I'm sorry. Well, let's take a look at the results of 7 years of hard work and crowded living quarters. Will you open the curtains, please, Frank? There it is. Now, ladies, ask yourself the question. Are you a good enough wife to live for 7 years with this thing in your living room? I dare say few of you are. Now, Mr. Lawson, how many hours have you flown this plane?
About 12 or 13,
Uh-huh. And what is the maximum speed?
165 miles an hour.
165. Now, Bill, you're a flyer. Does that surprise you, the speed on this thing?
No, it looks fast. It looks hot, too, Mr. Lawson, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not easy to fly. I can tell to look at it. I think I'm right.
Not too hard to fly.
Not too, well.
How
I'm
much does
flying.
it weigh?
149 pounds. Or
100, that's you. That's what you weigh. How much does the airplane weigh?
549 pounds.
549. Now, to show you how beautifully balanced this thing is, now, Bill, you look surprised. Why are you surprised? At the lightness of it?
Very light, yes.
Now,
very
watch
light.
this. When he just puts his weight on the front of it, back of it goes up in the air. I want you to know, panel, by the way, that everything on the plane was handmade by Mr. Lawson. He shaped the sheet metal. He cut down these propellers from another plane, and he drove every bolt in himself. How much did it cost you in supplies?
$1,700.
$1,700. The one thing I couldn't help but wonder about, she's a lovely streamlined thing, except for some protruding mechanism down here at the bottom. What is that?
That is a carburetor.
Well, that's what I thought, but I never saw one hanging out of the bottom of a plane before. Why'd you do that?
You have to put it someplace, so it's all right under there.
Good answer as any. If you want to have a carburetor hanging down, hang it down.
You hang it
Yeah.
down.
Well, you're a remarkable man. You've built a remarkable craft there, and we want to wish you lots of continued luck.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Lawson.
sir.
Right. Now, we will be back with you again in just a minute, but first, let's watch this.
Well,
Well, now it is time for us to meet our next contestant, and all the information about this contestant is contained in this sealed envelope, which I am going to turn over to Henry Morgan. Henry, if you'll join me center stage, we can make the transfer. And to tell you what this is all about and why we're doing it this way, you see, Henry's the one who first heard about this secret, And he was so impressed with it that he told our producers, who decided that instead of having Henry disqualify himself from the panel for this round, which he'd have to do, that we'd have him moderate this spot, and I'll go and take Henry's seat, so we'll have a full panel, and but I want my job back later. Okay?
I don't know.
All the instructions are in there, Henry. Every single thing that you have to do is in
It
the
is
envelope.
sealed, unfortunately.
It's all right. Take time.
Just a second. Wait. Oh, first card says sit down. Sit down. Be pleasant. Third card. Introduce contestant. Ladies and gentlemen, here is our next contestant. Now, would you tell us your name, please, and where you're from?
Edith Griffin, Walston.
This is Mrs. Griffin. Now, panel, Mrs. Griffin's secret involves some quick thinking and an act of courage. Let me fill you in on the background. Last week, Mrs. Griffin was awakened at about 4:30 in the morning. She looked out a window and saw 3 men breaking into a grocery store. And as a result of her quick thinking and fast action, she was able to capture them. Now, your job is to try to think as quickly as Mrs. Griffin did and figure out how she was able to capture the 3 men. And, audience, play along with this and see how well you do. The clue concerns something she did, and we'll start the questioning with Betsy Palmer.
Mrs. Griffin, you caught these men single-handed.
That's right.
Did you go outside of your house to do this?
Yes, I did.
You did this unaided?
Yes, I did.
Did you go to the place, to the building that they were breaking into?
Yes, I did.
Did you have physical contact with these 3 men?
No, I didn't.
That's 20 down, 60 to go, and we go to Gary Moore.
Was it anything quite as simple as rushing across the street and slamming the door, or thus trapping them inside?
Wasn't that simple?
No.
It was not that simple, but is that partially the method? Did you close the men inside the store so that they could not get out?
Yes, I did.
Well, then, what? Did you go inside and make fudge for them, or?
$40 down, and Gary, don't get so close. 40 to go, and it's up to Betsy Palmer.
It is?
That's Myers. I knew it began with a B.
Mrs. Griffin, well, that's
You want to
apparently...
call it that?
Yes, you locked the door
all
and
right.
called the
Our
police.
producer, Mr. Feldman, says that that's it. I wouldn't quite put it that way, would you, Mrs. Griffin? The story is a little more pointed. Well, why don't you tell us?
Well, this was 4:30 in the morning, and I heard a car stop. So I stepped to the window to see what happened. I saw 3 men going from the automobile to the trap doors. So I called the police. Then I ran down the steps. I opened the front door and ran to the trap doors. Put a lock on the door.
It was her own lock. That's the point. The fact is, I think you should have emphasized the fact that you had a padlock at home, which you rummaged around and found, then ran over and put her own padlock on the door.
Tremendous presence of mind.
Isn't that's the old thinking, eh, panel?
Sure is.
Now, I know all over the United States, grocery store owners are sleeping a little better tonight because of people like Mrs. Griffin. And on their behalf, Mrs. G, we have an appropriate reward for capturing 3 live burglars in a grocery store. Here are 3 complete filled books of trading stamps. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come back with me.
Mr. Moore.
Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
See you.
All right, Doctor.
Thank you.
It's all yours. Thank you.
Of all the storied teams that have stood the
1-800-536-5218. Call now.
Special guest this evening is one of the most successful young actors in our business. At the moment, he is a smash at the Westbury Music Fair in a production of Mr. Roberts. Here is Hugh O'Brien.
Hi, Hugh. Jerry, how are you?
Welcome back to our show.
Thank you very much. Nice
May I
to see
tell you that as a professional, I admire you a great deal? The last time, or I don't know if it was the last time, but certainly the first time he was on the show, he was at the height of popularity in a television series, which was up in the top 10 in the ratings, and things were booming along. But after how many years were you on the...
6 years in the saddle.
6 years, he felt that as an actor, he had done enough of that kind of thing, and so he left the sure thing, which is rarely done, and moved on to Broadway and the legitimate theater and motion pictures, and you've made it stick. A lot of people said it couldn't be done, but he did it, and you're doing fine.
Thank you, Gary, and I hope that the folks that might be in the area, Westbury, and the music fairs around the East Coast here will get a chance to come see Mr. Roberts. It's a wonderful production. I'm very proud to work with a wonderful cast.
That's a marvelous script, too. Now, by the way, I couldn't help but notice, what are you doing with the telephone book?
Well, that's part of my secret.
Oh, well, if you whisper that part of your secret to me, we'll show it at the same time to our audience. Well, now, that's amazing.
Yeah, it sure is. But that's only, that's not really the amazing part of it, though.
Oh,
There's another part that is even more amazing than that.
Well, show me the amazing part about tearing the book in half. Okay. All right, panel, the clue involves something that Hugh is going to do. We'll start the questioning again with Bill Cullen, please.
I pass.
You pass? Why you pass?
Because
Because we all heard
what you said.
about tearing the book
Tearing the book in half, you said.
Did you say that?
You don't remember?
You were fined 2 points.
That's not what we
Well, that's only part of it. You didn't
Tonight
get
is a little late.
Henry wants to guess. I'm your buddy, Gary. I'll guess.
Oh, all right, you guess.
Does it have anything to do with reading material?
Yeah, it's got all the box office numbers of where we're
Has
playing.
it anything to do with literature or writing or
Yes, it has to
printing?
do with writing, yes.
Would it be a book bigger than a small book?
I'd say yes, wouldn't you?
Yes, I'd say yes.
Bigger than small.
Wait, a message is coming in. Does it have anything? Nah, it couldn't be. I almost had it. Does it, is it...
No, I'm afraid of this. There's $20 down, $60 to go, and let's go the other way. We'll go to Betsy.
All right. Now, you are going to tear the telephone book in half.
Yes.
You're not even guessing.
Oh, I am. Is
Well,
it
there's
going
more.
To be, oh,
But there's
there's
more
to
to the
that,
more
yes.
to my
I only,
secret. Yes.
I only spilled half the
Half
beans.
of it.
Half the
that's good.
beans.
Well, now we've got that all done. Now, Henry says you're going to do it with your feet.
That'd be very interesting. I don't know if we could do it on the program.
You have strong teeth, Hugh?
Sure.
No, are you going to do it with your being?
With my hands.
You're going to do it with your hands.
Mm-hmm.
That particular Bronx telephone directory?
Mm-hmm.
You can take this particular one. If you would rather have him take another, we can.
You are going to do it with very little effort?
Wait till I ask my friend over there. Yes.
You're going to do it together.
No,
He's going
no,
to
I'm
hold
going to
one
do
end?
it with little effort.
With little effort? Are you going to do it in one fell swoop?
One fell
One
swap
fell swoop?
Yes.
We hope. We try.
We hope, yes, we try.
He's going to do what, 5 Los Angeles?
5 Los Angeles directors.
I'm very confused.
40, you kind of went blank there, didn't you, Miss Betsy?
No, I just didn't understand about 5 Los Angeles telephone directories.
That's $40 down and $40 to go. We go to Bill Cullen.
Well, before I ask you this question, I want you to know that years ago, my father, who, if he were alive today, would be considerably older than any of us here, succeeded in tearing a telephone directory in half in Pittsburgh in 1921, in which time there were only 23 phones in Pittsburgh. So it wasn't, but it is, there is more to it than the fact that you're going to tear this Bronx book in half.
Well, that's part of the secret. There's another part, yes.
Is it, and you are going to use your hands.
Yes.
And after you've finished tearing it in half, you're going to...
Get very sick.
Yes. Are you going to make a phone call tonight after you've torn the book in half?
Yes, but that's got nothing to do with my secret.
Oh, well, that's certainly your...
Or let's say it has to do with another secret that we're not going to talk about. Bess, for the time being, dear, I'm going to bypass you for reasons which I will explain to the audience in a little while. I'm going to tell you one part of Hugh O'Brien's secret. He's going to tear the phone book in half, and just to prove that the phone books are not rigged or specially prepared in any way, Henry and Bill, if you'll come center stage, we have a selection of books. You can pick any one you want. Now, we've got a lot of books here. The top ones all seem to be from the Bronx, but that's immaterial.
Strike Camden, New Jersey. That's where we open the new Toronto next week.
It's a Pittsburgh book. There's a Pittsburgh book? Well, Bill, bring it around front.
My, how they've grown there.
There's a Pittsburgh book. You got a head start. The back's off of that one. And, Henry, you want to try your Bronx one?
L.A.
All right, Western L.A. Let's take the yellow section. That one you can't use.
That one I can't use.
All right.
Let's see. You start. You got a skinny one.
Oh, so you're going to do it together now. We're going to do it together in the car. No. No. This way.
Lengthwise. See?
Now, you ready? On your mark.
Not yet.
Not one, not page by page. On your mark, get set, go.
Quit.
Bill's still working.
Yeah, but I'm not getting anywhere. Come on, boys. Come on, Bill. Get in here. Damn it.
I'm sorry, no. Illegal practice. Illegal practice. The thing that you were picked up here, I just knew you couldn't do anything with. There's nothing tricky about it either. Gentlemen, you'll return to your seat. Now, you have seen the first half of Hugh O'Brien's secret, right? You've seen that you know the first half, that he's going to tear a phone book in half. The second half has to do with who taught him to do this. Now, who would you think would be the most unlikely person in the world to know how to... Bess Meyerson taught him how to do it. Bess, come on.
She sure did.
That's right. And to see how well pick anyone, to see how well her pupil has learned his lesson, we'll have a contest. They both have Bronx directories. And, Hugh, you tell me when you're ready to start.
Right to this.
Do it right out. Let the audience see.
Now, let me get set here.
You holler when you want to start.
Wait a minute.
Take your time.
This one is bent.
That one's bent. All right, take one unbent.
We practiced on Manhattan, Kansas. Very cool.
Hugh, you say when you're ready.
I hope I'm ready.
You ready?
You ready?
Goodbye.
Oh, boy. Ready?
Yeah, okay, here we go.
Hang in there, Hugh. You got it going.
There we go.
Hugh's got his in hand. Come on, Beth. My teacher.
Give me a gun, I'll shoot it off.
There we go.
There it is. How's that?
Terrific.
You want to go all the way?
You got it.
That's enough.
Great. Would you ever...
Boy, am I happy I did that.
What?
You're great.
Wow.
We really
Would you ever think that fragile, listen, Bess Meyerson, to don't mess around with her?
Listen, in rehearsal, she did one after another, and it took me about 5 before I could do it. I'm telling you,
She was so red in the face. All right, Bess, thank you very... We want to do one more for us? You'll keep working on it? All right. Large hand for Hugh O'Brien.
Thank you, Gary. Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, looks awfully tough. I'll try with the yellow pages. Oh, boy. What's tough about that? Don't you believe it? I'm a big liar. It was cut all the way through. We'll be back with you again right after this important message.
It's us on your screen. Don't delay. Call us now at 1-800-585-5599.
Now, next week, friends, Bess is going to be on a week's vacation. While she's away, Lauren Bacall will take her place. And Arnold Palmer and Roy Castle, our little English buddy, will join us here, and each of them is going to have a secret. But I thought in the 30 seconds left, Bess, could you explain the gimmick on this, or how it's, so that people can try it at home?
All right.
Telephone company will love this.
Now, the idea is to create some slack in the back and make the front tense so that you tear it page by page. Now, let's see. Get your palms of your hand on firmly and your thumbs, and then just pull away. And you see, Henry, one page at a time. Whoops.
still friends until next week at the same time.
Like that.
This will be Gary Moore saying very kindly to the wheel. Goodbye.